God calls us to build habits for lasting happiness by uniting our will to His. To do this, we must know ourselves. Jesus taught in parables, short moral stories that contain a rule or an observation from life about the way things are or ought to be. Parables illustrate the obvious but forgotten truths about who we are and why we are here. They point us toward our true home, the kingdom of God. Let's look more closely at one parable in particular. Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is like a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field. It is the smallest of all seeds, but when it has grown, it is the greatest of shrubs and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and make nests in its branches." Our lives are much the same as the mustard seed, are seemingly small, insignificant, and temporary, yet destined by God for greater things than we can even imagine. But unlike mustard seeds, we have an intellect and a will. We can choose to cooperate with God's plan, and when we do, we not only grow and flourish, but we help others to grow and flourish too. With the mustard seed, Jesus used an image that the people of the time knew and recognized to explain a forgotten truth, that in God's hands, even small things play important roles. God has made for us an epic adventure, becoming the unique and unrepeatable man or woman He created us to be by knowing, loving, and serving Him. The entire Christian faith is based on our being created in God's image and likeness, our forgetting who we are and falling into sin, and our being redeemed by a loving Father so as to live in communion with Him now and forever. The very first step is to know ourselves better. Try asking these 7 questions. What is my temperament? In other words, what is my natural disposition? What are my talents, those gifts that have been given to me to develop in service of God and others? What blessings have been given to me? Those sheer gifts of God's goodness. What wounds do I still carry from childhood and beyond that affect me today? What is my purpose, the mission God has given me? What must I do to answer God's unique calling for me to fulfill that mission? And what are the weaknesses that hinder me from doing that? Knowing ourselves better can help us to avoid the hurdles that will deter us from living God's holy will in our life. Learn how to build habits for lasting happiness by ordering your copy of our Ignatius Press book entitled The Willpower Advantage.